It was pretty sobering. A couple weekends ago, I read an article from a well-known economist who said we are already bankrupt as a nation. And there's a lot of legitimate concern for that. We've got to get control of that. And we've got to secure our border. We've got to make sure we have health care that's affordable for everybody without a government takeover. We've got to make sure we have a strong national defense that includes not using our military in the legislative process to pass unrelated social piece of legislation. We have a strong missile defense. We need to make sure we support Israel. There's a lot of things that we've got to do in this country. But we have a situation here before us where we have lack of leadership. I just came back this morning from Washington, D.C. because I was invited to come out there because our district's race, and this is all of us here, has been elevated to what the Republican National Committee calls young guns status. And that just means they believe in looking at what they're seeing here in our district and what you all are doing. And what we're saying is that this race is winnable and it's doable. And it's one of the top races in the country, is what they're sharing. And but it was sad to say when I came home this morning, we had a Congress that just voted yesterday to adjourn, and Ike was the deciding vote. It passed by one vote. He supported adjourning without a budget and with the tax increases in place that's going to devastate every American family come January 1. It's a dereliction of duty on my part. One thing that Congress is supposed to do is provide for, first of all, the common defense, but also do a budget, pass a budget. They can't even do that. And you have Ike supporting them doing that. You have Ike casting one of 4 deciding votes to pass cap and tax, the worst piece of legislation I've ever seen in my life. And he supported every runaway spending bill, every government takeover of business. The budget that was passed last year, they passed a budget, but it was a 1/3 deficit spending. So it was a $3.1 trillion budget. $1 trillion of it was a deficit. So that I sat and thought of that once, so I have to get my mind. I'm a Marchie, I'm a farm girl. Get my mind around these numbers, and I thought, it'd be like if I was still teaching and I took home a paycheck of $2,000 a month, yet I budgeted and spent $3,000 a month. We wouldn't do that. You and I wouldn't do that at home. We wouldn't do that on our farms. We wouldn't do that in our small business. Yet they're doing it in Washington, D.C. all the time. And they just go over to China and borrow some more money. And I don't know about you, but it doesn't help me sleep well at night knowing how much we owe China. And if they call our loan, the trouble we're going to be in. So we've got to rein in this spending. We've got to start creating real jobs. And the way to do that is to stop this uncertainty. I've talked to business owner after business owner in this district, and they tell me, we don't know. We'd like to create more jobs. We'd like to have a second location. We'd like to expand. But we don't know what they're going to do in Washington. We don't know what our energy bill is going to be next year. They're talking about this cap and trade or cap and tax. Well, that could double our energy costs. We don't know if we can get credit because of the financial regulatory bill they passed, and we're not sure about that. We're not sure we can afford this health care that they passed, and it may put us out of business. We're not sure what our taxes are going to be because they want to increase our taxes come January 1, and that's going to affect our capital gains, our dividends, our individual rates, even marriage penalty, college tuition. Every family is going to be impacted by that. We don't know what they're going to do next. And the government may come in and take over my business because they've done that with other businesses in this country. So they're holding on to their money. And they're freezing the economic environment, so no jobs are being created. So we've got to create this certainty, let business owners know what the rules are going to be, reduce the regulations, reduce the taxes on them, so that they will feel confident in opening that second location or hiring these additional people, because they can cash flow it out. They can plan and they say, okay, yeah, we'll have enough money to do that, and we can do that. So there's some common sense things we can do for jobs, common sense things, cutting, spending, and repealing Obamacare and replacing those common sense reforms securing the border. Those are things that I've heard. I've just been sharing with you what concerns and ideas that I've come up with and want to take to from the 4th District. But I want to hear your thoughts and ideas too.